Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zhani. If you're new here, please like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and follow me on Instagram. It's in the description box down below. And if you're not new here, then thanks for coming back. So this is my first collaboration with somebody who I'm not related to. This is my collaboration with another YouTuber named Abby Merida. So I'll put her name up here, and then I'll also link her channel down below. We're partnering up. She's doing college advice and I'm doing high school advice. So you guys should definitely go check out her video and watch both these videos and subscribe. So I'm very sorry for this video because I know when I would go on YouTube and I'd see back to school videos all on my suggested, I'd be very upset. But this is necessary, you know? Necessary but sucks. So obviously we're going back to school. Next month is August, which a lot of people go back to school, and then people go back in September. And this video I'm going to be dividing into 4 sections: freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior advice, because obviously I've been through all of that. I literally graduated, so I kind of know what's up. And so basically I'm gonna be sectioning it off and telling you guys what you need to know, or like different pieces of advice, or like educational advice and social advice that can help you guys along the way. And then I'm gonna have a broad section too that all different grade levels are gonna kind of need to know. So let's get into the video. So first up, guys, we have freshmen. Now freshmen are just so it makes me like I think everybody can look back on that who's been through freshman year, and you just know that what you were freshman year is not what you are towards the end. It's just a really weird time, and you're trying to like navigate this new school and this new system, and you have a lot more freedom, and it's very strange to think about because freshman year is just so messy. It's very messy. But what I will say is that for freshmen, it's very important that first on this list is that you go to your open house. Now, when you're going to high school, you typically don't know what the school is like. You don't know where the buildings are. You don't know your classes, and you know, you're not familiar with the space. So it's very important that you guys go to open house. So the first day of school, in the first week, you have a general idea of where you're going and you're not as lost and confused. And what I also will say is that I know in TV shows they like to portray high school as this extremely stereotypical, you know, this set of kids. People aren't as mean as you always think they are. I mean, there are people who are mean, but if you're lost, like, you can literally just reach out to somebody and they'll like try to help you. If you reach out to a person and they're like, oh, get away from me, or they don't try to talk to you, like, that does happen sometimes, but generally people are nice enough to point you in the right direction, especially at the beginning of the school year. Like, you can easily differentiate between somebody who's like a freshman and somebody who's a senior, because the freshmen are gonna be like running they're gonna be like running to their classes, and the seniors won't care where they're going. Like, they already know what they're doing. They didn't go to open house. They have no idea what's really going on, but they're like comfortable enough to be like, yeah, I don't care. So honestly, they know what's going on. So, but yeah, just reach out to somebody and they'll help you. And what I will say next for a piece of advice is about classes. I know you guys already chose your classes at this point. Like, it's summer, you're about to start school, so you don't have any way to pick out classes again, unless I guess you talk to your counselor. But what I will say is that freshman year is basically just about learning the experience of high school and like figuring it out. So if you're not taking AP classes, or if you're not taking this specific class that you want to, it's okay. It's freshman year. You have 3 more years to get yourself together. Like, for me personally, sometimes I look back at it and I'm like, oh, I wish I took AP classes freshman year, but then at the same time, like, I'm fine. You know, it all worked out for me. You know, don't stress yourself out too much, because this is the first step. You're just figuring it out. And I'm not saying that freshman year doesn't count for anything. Freshman year is very important. It does count, but also don't be too hard on yourself, because you're really trying to figure things out. I'm not saying it's like a throwaway year, do whatever you want, fail all your classes. Like, don't do that. That's not what I'm saying at all. Just don't put too much pressure on yourself, because you're figuring it out. You don't know how high school works. You're preparing for your future, so don't psych yourself out before the game even starts. That's what I'm saying. So don't lose it. And if you move to like a different school, or you're in a different state, this is a great time to show up and be new, because everybody's new. Nobody really knows what they're doing. Like, yeah, you still have some friends from like middle school, but it's a jumbled mess now, and there's so many people who you were friends with before that you're not going to be friends with freshman year. Like, it's a time for change. So like, you're gonna be fine, honestly. Like, that's all I can say. Just like, go to open house. Don't be scared to ask for help if you need it, because it's so much better to be like, I'm lost, can you like point me in the right direction, than showing up to class late first day, like you're already shook up. It's just not the move that you want to make. Now for sophomores, this is also just like a mess of a year, because it's like an awkward in between, because junior year is when you start like doing your SATs and like prepping for senior year, because then senior year you're like getting ready to go to college, and then freshman year is the beginning. So this is like an awkward phase of time. And honestly, I just say, like, by this point you should be figuring out what you really want to do next. Like, you should kind of start thinking about what career paths you want to pursue, not necessarily like choosing what career you want, but like, is college like a thing that I want to do? Okay, so I'm only over here for Okay, so I'm only over here for lighting right now, but I'm gonna reiterate and basically sum up what I said for sophomore year because it's kind of a jumble mess. But not everybody after high school wants to go straight into school, wants to go to college in general. Some people want to go into the military, some people want to go to trade school, which is school, but it's not like regular university and community college and different things like that. There's so many different options. Some people like taking leap years, and that's what I'm saying, like sophomore year is a really good year to figure out what you want to do after school. You don't have to have like a set career path already planned out because nobody really has that together, and new things present themselves all the time. But I'm just basically saying that right now because when I was editing and it did not make very much sense, so I'm trying to give you guys what you need to know. Yeah, but sophomore year is like, I feel like it's the calmest year out of all of them, at least for me. So now, junior year, I will say, was crazy. For junior year advice, and this is kind of like a quick advice video, I guess, but mainly it's very much SATs. Everybody's kind of like beating down on you. They're like, oh, you got to go to this college seminar. You got to start talking about college and schools and coming, grandma. Back to SATs and everything. Honestly, it's stressful. Standardized testing is stressful in general, and it's a whole mess. And honestly, like, it's just so bad. Junior year was really tough, and then you have like so much pressure to do well in school and classes because when you apply to college, they look at your junior year because you're not really done with your senior year. So junior year is very important. You want to make sure you're doing well on these tests and doing well in general in school because it doesn't even matter like what you really want to do afterwards. It's very important that you do well in school. And as for senior year, guys, senior year was tough. To me, it was more stressful than junior year. Like, I can handle like the school stuff, but applying to schools and doing all of that college getting ready stuff, that didn't make any sense. Like, nobody tells you what you're supposed to do, and nobody's really helpful at all. I'm just being honest. I'm just gonna be honest. It's like a struggle to get through for the most part, especially if you're applying for a lot of schools. I applied to like 10, which makes everything so much worse. So for senior year, this is gonna be a lot of me getting ready for college advice. So junior going into senior year, what you wanna make sure you do is you reach out to teachers and get those recommendation letters at the beginning of summer, because once it gets close to the beginning of the year, they're gonna be preparing for their next classes, and they're not gonna have the time to be giving you your recommendation letters because everybody's gonna be asking for them. So at that moment, you really wanna reach out to teachers who you're close with, and in general, just be like, this is what I've done. Cause like we at my school, we called it a brag sheet. So you basically say everything that you've accomplished in high school, and you want to reach out to these different teachers and make sure that you're gathering, you know, recommendation letters, and you're having them, because we applied through Common App. I know, is it Common App? Is that what you applied to college through? I don't really remember. I think it is Common App. I literally blocked out that entire memory because it was so traumatic. Yeah, so it's Common App, and then there's another one, I believe it's Coalition. I don't know, but I applied to school through Common App, and what your teachers have to do, they have to submit the recommendation themselves. Like, you can't take it and then submit it for them. Their email has to be added to it, and then they can submit their recommendation. So what I will say though is it's very important that you start your recommendations early so then you can get them out of the way. And if there's a teacher who's not able to give that to you, or they say they are and then they never do, you're able to find somebody else who's able to like back you up and give you that recommendation. That is very, very important, because for me, I had multiple teachers who weren't able to come through or who just stopped responding, and I had so many teachers who were also helpful and they were able to send out more recommendations for me to like different schools. And what I did personally, I don't know if everybody does this, but I just felt bad asking a teacher to like submit a recommendation for more than like 2 or 3 schools, even some 4. Like, I felt bad, so I had like a lot of different teachers write me recommendations. I don't know if that's actually good or not, but that's what I did. So I can't really like tell you, you know, don't have like 30 different teachers writing for different schools. I don't know, but it's a very stressful process. So make sure you start everything early, like your college essay early, like do everything as early as possible, because once it reaches the time, there's so many different steps that you're gonna have to do, and there's so many different things that colleges are gonna be asking for. That's gonna be stressful. You know, you have to have all your like documents in order, and it's a lot of things. It's not just stuff that I feel like people just always have on hand. Like, sometimes you need to call people or find it and everything. So it's very important to start early. And with, you know, your financial aid and scholarship, that's something that you should be doing early too. Should have mentioned that before probably, but this is something that should be mentioned like with freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, because they give you scholarships and different opportunities early on, depending on where you are grade wise and different things like that. So it's very important to stay connected to your counselor. Your school does have a college advisor, just so you know. Your school has a college advisor, so make sure you're staying in contact with them so you know where you stand and different things like that, so you can be knowledgeable about these different things so you're not lost, because nobody's gonna tell you what to do. Like, nobody's here to help you.
Wait a minute.
That sounds really bad. Let me reiterate that. There are people who are there to help, but you have to reach out for help. It's not always gonna be like, oh, blah, 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 you forgot to do this or forgot to do that. I changed my battery, but I don't know what I just did. It looks a little different, so we're just gonna have to get used to this for right now. But as I was saying, yeah, senior year is crazy. You need to make sure you're on top of everything. I think I'm honestly gonna do a series on it and do a series on senior year specifically because it's really stressful. Like, nobody helps you. I keep on saying this, but there's so many things that nobody tells you that you need to know, and especially going into college too, like you just don't know these things. Like, I have to ask so many different people and other people who've experienced it, 'cause thankfully I know people who are in college right now and go to the school that I'm going to, so it makes it a lot easier to figure certain things out. But we really out here right now, guys. We're really out here. I don't even want to think about it. Like, I graduated and this is like bringing up bad memories for me. Thank you guys for watching. Please, again, like, comment, subscribe, follow this page because I am so close to 100 subscribers right now. Don't forget to check out Abby's channel and subscribe to her and like her videos and like the video that we collaborated on, or like the video theme, I guess, because I'm doing high school advice and she's doing college advice. And yeah, thanks for watching.